Hello, Teepa. How wonderful to see you.
Oh, Maggie, it's so good to see you. You look great. So now, since we were together last year, we did the conference last year, and it was really well received. And you had chefs and companies from across Australia coming in, just sort of like, oh, Maggie, what's Maggie up to? So, what has Maggie been up to since then?
Well, Maggie has never been busier in her whole life. Can I say I'm putting that out there? Because we did get a government grant of 5 million over 3 years. So we're training chefs all around Australia to actually go into the homes and work at the stoves with the kitchen team for a week at a time, and then come back one day a month for the next year to embed processes. And I'm just about to finish filming a 3-part series for the ABC on raising the bar of food in aged care. So I've been working for 5 months on this, working in an aged care home a week a month. And so, and all the ensuing things that go around that. So very, very busy.
Wow. And that's super exciting because you took what we started a conversation about last year and you were already doing things. It's not like it's brand new, but you got the grant. So you are actually you're launching this across Australia. And what's exciting for me is this return to reinforce, to embed. So it becomes part of culture, not sort of one-off workshop.
Absolutely. I knew when I put together what was necessary, I knew if we didn't have that embedding process, there is absolutely no way something can work, because you have to keep everyone accountable for the change to go on. So most important.
Yeah. So we over here have been busy doing our thing too, which is really reaching out and expanding our culture to help people appreciate when it comes to dining and eating and enjoying one another, really learning what the person you're trying to support is able to do and able to handle before you start just automatically passing things out and giving things out and making assumptions, but really doing some careful assessment.
Absolutely. Look, last year I learned so much from you. I came away buzzing with the fact that you are a great educator, and your acolyte, your acolyte here in Australia, in South Australia, Nicolene Mundy. Oh my God, she has carried every bit of the essence of you, and so I've been able to spread the word about you and your practices through all of the chefs that we are engaging. And so it's a win-win, because I'm not just dealing with the kitchens, but the care staff. And that's been the revelation. Yeah.
And what's been exciting for us is that Nicolene's work has expanded and Rembrandt has really opened its doors wide and is supporting so wonderfully what we've all been working on, which is best quality care and aged care around the dining experience. So here's a curiosity. I hear you have peacocks, and I hear that they get quite loud sometimes.
They get very loud sometimes.
But now, I assume it's not music to your ears when they get really loud.
No, no.
Yeah.
Well, it depends what I'm doing, but absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah. So background sounds can be either great sounds that you really
Yeah.
enjoy or ones
Yeah.
that sort of are distracting or overwhelming or irritating for you, depending on
Yes.
where you are. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so we've come up a bit with this question about, one of the questions we'll be exploring a little bit is music in the dining room.
Ah, good, good. Yes.
Yeah. And
I want to hear more.
who's it good for? And who do you want to wait and go, oh, okay. You know what? Music is great when we get together and we're all going to have a beer together. And I say, okay, so who knows this one? And then we can cheer and we can sing. But maybe when I'm trying to get nourishment in, it might be a bit challenging to have something on in the background that competes with the cutlery and the meal and the person helping me and the conversation I'm trying to listen to. So we'll be looking at the pluses, the changes, the modifications. We might want to think about for somebody who has maybe some hearing changes that come with aging, or maybe let's add dementia into the box and see what might make the most sense to try as we're looking at creating an experience that we would want to have.
Okay. Well, I have something to add to that.
Yeah.
Is I understand that you have to consider all of these things, but I also know that silence is negative.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of silence in dining rooms, and and that's as bad as loud noises. So where do we meet?
Yeah. So there's a difference between peacocks and perhaps songbirds.
Yes. Yeah, you've got it. I like
And
that.
I think that's where we meet. And so that's
Yes.
what we're going to be doing, is figuring out how do we satisfy and meet needs without overwhelming. And that's
Yes.
a process. It's not like, here's the cookbook and here, just do this one recipe for everybody. Everybody will love it, because it turns out that's not the way people are. And so being thoughtful and creating some possible recipes and some variations on the recipes. And, this is where you might want to start. And this is where you could do some shifting, perhaps.
And the thing that I'm excited about is in July 9, when the documentary comes out, is we have done so much about the dining experience and reconfiguring with light and color and serviettes and linen tablecloths, all of those things that are available and accessible, not something that is just too difficult to imagine. So that will be a good way of spreading that message. But I just believe in it so much.
Yeah. And I think we both do. And I think the good part is we're going to be talking about bringing family and staff into these relationships. So it's simply not just, oh yeah, the staff do it. And it's like, no, that's actually not what we want. We want people coming into community for meals.
Absolutely.
And into tea. And
But to do that, you have to make the place inviting. And so, that's the holistic part of it. Yeah. Important. Every bit is important.
Every bit is important. Relationships and space and programming and props and all the things that we need to make this work. But we will be getting together. So, all right. Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you, Teepa.